Today what we're going to be doing is discussing She Talks to Angels by the Black Crowes. This one's obviously a lot of fun because it's got some really great chord progressions in there, a little non-traditional, and it also has some really fun licks. And what I want to do in this video is show you all of those things, break them down for you, and I'm going to be doing them all in standard tuning. This song was actually originally recorded in an open tuning, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to record it in a standard tuning for you. So, first thing I'm going to do is show you just the outline of the chord progression for the song, and then we'll talk about the licks. So the main part is built off of E, and what you're going to be doing is using your pinky underneath the third finger on the third string second fret, just hides right underneath there, so it'd be on the same string as your first finger. What we're doing here is we're making what's called a sus4 chord. So when you set this finger down, you're making E sus4. Okay, so we're going to go like this. Hear the finger go down and come back up. Now remember, the rhythm is all here. It's all based off this idea. So when I have... Now this song has, if you're familiar with this song, obviously there's a lot of space in between those where you don't have to keep strumming. You can just stop moving your arm and hang out until you come back in. But that's the main part, is that E, going to E sus4. Now the other part of the song is going to use a B power chord, sort of. It's going to use B on the 5th string, so you're on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Third finger is on the 4th string. Pinky is on the 3rd string, so it looks like that. But you're not barring, so if you're familiar with bar chords, you're not going to be barring. You're going to leave that open, so the bottom 2 strings are going to be left open. So when you strum, you're strumming from the 5th string on down, and you're getting those 2 open strings on the bottom. Then what we're going to do is go to an A chord, but we're going to leave the pinky off, or if you play it this way, we're going to leave the ring finger off, so those bottom 2 strings are left open again. Okay, this is called an A sus2 chord. And then we're going to go back to E, which again has those same 2 strings open. So we're leaving those 2 strings open the entire time. We're moving from here. Now, the only other part of the song, so that's the chorus, is the little interlude where he says, "She don't know no lover, none like I ever seen," that sort of thing. And what you're doing there is you're moving back and forth between the A sus2 that you just played and the E chord. So you're going... So you see it's just back and forth, and then you stay on the A sus2 for a longer amount of time, and that's it. So those are the chord progressions for the entire song. The very end, I guess I should talk about real quick, you're doing the chorus, and then it just winds up repeating the B to the A, this B to this A. So in this section, here's the end of the song, you're going... And here's the very end. So that's all the chord progressions broken down. You can go back, obviously, and watch this as many times as you need to get that built up. Next part we're going to go through is the first lick of the song, the... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the fingerings I'm going to use. I'm going to talk about the picking that I'm doing. Obviously, you'll be able to hear the rhythms that I'm playing or grab the song, obviously, and listen to the rhythms from there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a slide with my middle finger from the 4th fret to the 5th fret of the 2nd string. Then I'm going to pluck the 1st string open, and yes, it is the same pitch, but that's enabling me to get my hand off so I can do the next lick. So when I go to that open string, that's a perfect opportunity for me to get off the guitar and get ready on the 4th fret again. So you're going to go. Now again, it's a little dissonant, but I'm not going to stay on that note. I'm going to keep moving. Now the question is when I do those 2 quick notes, how should I pick it? Well, obviously I could pick them both down if I chose to. Or the other thing I would give it as an option would be to do a down and then an up. So you're inside the strings. You're going. So you could go down, up. But I think either way is just fine for you. Now after you get that 4, you're immediately going to slide from 4 to 2. So you have. And you see that's where the resolve is, so it sounds more like a chord, where when you stay on 4 it sounds pretty ugly. Okay, once you get there, you're going to take that hand off, you're going to pluck the 2nd string open, and then the 1st string open. So the lick sounds like this. So I literally could play that whole thing with just down strums if I wanted to. But think about the rhythm too. You're going. Really concentrate on that rhythm. Okay. Then what you're going to do is go to the 1st fret of the 3rd string, and you're going to hammer from 1 to 2. So now I have. Then I'm going to pluck 0 on the 2nd string and 0 on the 1st string. So that 2nd section now looks like this. It goes 1 to 2, 0, 0, like this. So I'm hammering from 1 to 2, and then I'm plucking 0, 0. So the 2 patterns together. And when I was playing that, if I probably would go and do the very last note as an up strum, because it sends my guitar pick back up so I can get ready for the next part, as opposed to doing them all down. It's just kind of the way I play when I do single note picking. So if I get to the bottom, I have a tendency of swinging back up so I can get started up here somewhere again. So it sounds like this. Okay, then what I'm going to do is go back to the 3rd string where the middle finger is right now. I'm going to pluck that and do a pull off back to 1. So I have. Sorry, I should say that first. You're going to pluck that 2 first. So I got alone. Then I'm going to pluck that again and do the pull off. So you have. Then you're going to add these 2 fingers on to the E chord. You're going to leave that guy there. Add these 2 on. Now you got your full E chord. You're going to pluck the 4th string and then strum. So here's that last sequence, real slow, broken down. Hammer on. And then pull off. And then immediately grab these guys and pluck the 4th string and strum. So here it is up to speed, that little section. So the 2 pieces. Slowly. That's the first lick. And again, watch it as many times as you want to kind of figure out what fingers I'm using and how I'm picking it, all that sort of thing. And then we move into the... Now, because we can't get the same harmonics that he's getting because we're tuned differently, we're going to use compatible harmonics. We're going to use the 6th string, 7th fret, and then the 5th string, or excuse me, 6th string, 5th fret. Now, if you've never done harmonics before, what you're doing is you're just lightly touching the string. You're not pushing on it. And you're literally touching over the fret itself, over the literal fret. So if you look here, I'm pointing at the fret, I'm going to touch the 6th string right over that fret. You'll see I'm not in the space. I'm right over the fret, and I'm just barely touching it. And when I pluck it, I take my hand off so the note can keep ringing. Okay, so we're going to do those two. They're a little different than the ones on the recording because they're tuned differently. So I'm going... Here's my second lick now. And then our last lick. So let me show you the second lick here. What you're going to do is you're going to go to the 4th fret of the 4th string with your 3rd finger. You're going to pluck it and slide to 6. And when you get to 6, you're going to pluck it again. Then you're going to make an arpeggio shape here, a chordal shape, by putting your 1st finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret, and your pinky on the 5th string, 7th fret. Okay, so you're going... See, I can just throw those around it. You can also build it if you'd rather go... You could build it. You can either leave it there or build it. So you have... Okay, then what we're going to do after we do 4, 6, 7, we're going to do 6, 6, 7. So I got a bar with my ring finger because it's sitting there. So I'm going to go... See how I'm barring over those 2 6s? So... I think I tend to roll my fingers instead of just making the shape. That way I stay moving. But either way would be just fine. Then you go back to 4, 6, 7. So you have... Sorry about that. And it's just a steady stream of the same notes, same 8th notes. So you're going... Da 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 da. And then you're going to end with 4, 4, 7. And that's where you get your first quarter note from those 8th notes. Then you go back to, you're back into that again. So let me show you. I'm coming from... Go into the my pseudo harmonics, lick 2, now the 3rd lick, it's hard to think when I'm going that slow. Okay, so what we're doing there is we're going to use the 1st string as a pedal point. We're going to keep going back to it in between everything. So I'm going to go 0 on the 1st string to 5th fret of the 2nd string, which again is the same note. And then I'm going to go to 4th fret, 2nd fret, open. So think 5, 4, 2, 0 on the 2nd string. And in between everything, you're plucking the 1st string. So I have... Okay, so 0, 5, 0, 4, 0, 2, 0, 0. Then you're going to go back to 0, but this time we're going to go to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So we got to jump over, it's called string skipping. We got to jump over the 2nd string. So I have... And then I'm going to go back to the 1st string again. Then I'm going to go to the 4th fret of the 4th string, which is quite a large jump. And again, I could go there with my 3rd finger, my middle finger. It doesn't really matter because there's a lot of space in between. So I guess the fingering doesn't really matter. If you wanted to stay constant, maybe you'd use 3, 2, 1, 1 here, 3 out here. But if you watch me play, okay, I'm just kind of moving, because again, I have a space in between because I'm always going to this. I could use literally the same finger over and over and over, and I would still have more than enough time. Sorry. So whatever's comfortable for you. So the big thing, again, is you're going 5, 4, 2, 0, 2 on the next string, and then 4, and then 2 on the 4th string. So you have 5, 4, 2, 0, 2, 4, 2. And in between each one is the 0. And that's all the licks and all the chords. So put them together. Good luck. And let me know if you have any questions.